Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Josh's Review Corner with another episode of Conversation Corner. Today, I have a special guest on the Conversation Corner. Not only is he a dope artist, but he is a great mentor in my life. He is one of the best rappers that I know. In addition to one of the best writers that I know, I want to give it up for Mr. Kid Prince. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the little, do the little applause. But what's up? What's up, man? You know, tell the people about yourself. Like, what should they know about Kid Prince? Like, who are you?
So as of late, I've been hearing this like more and more lately about myself. I'm Kid Prince, Kidprince. My real last name is Prince, so um, the name itself it holds a very special place for me. That's why I'll never change it. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I've been doing music, man, for years. I started off in battle rap. Then I got saved, and the Lord pushed me to use my pen for good. As of late, a lot of people been using the word underrated, and for me, I've been in the shadows, like really just working, grinding. I've helped a lot of artists um, get to where they are now um, when it comes to their career and their music. I've helped a lot of artists strengthen their pens. I've mentored, I've discipled. And honestly, man, when people use the word underrated, man, it just confirms God's calling on my life and the prayer that I had about being uh, faceless and nameless when I decided to
Mm.
dedicate my pen to him. I wanted to be faceless and nameless, in a sense where it was never about me and always about him. So yeah, if you want to know anything about Kid Prince, just know everything I do, everything. Um, when I wake up in the morning, if I go to work, if I'm with my family, it's to give God glory, point blank.
Amen. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And speak to that. You said that you've been writing for a while. How long have you been doing rapping and slash writing? And like, what got you into it?
Oh, that's good. So I started. Man, I used to pen. Okay, when I was in high school, this is crazy. When I was in high school, so as a teenager, yo, since I was like 17, I would write raps for dudes so they could battle. These were like grown men that were already like in
It's
like
a
professional
grown.
battle leagues, bro.
Yeah.
And so like
And how old were you?
I was like 16, 17, and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, like they would rehearse their raps. Like we all lived in the same neighborhood. They would have a battle. Like these are guys you would see on like the club flyers, big chains, the Versace shades and stuff like
Yeah.
that, man. And they knew me for like freestyling and stuff, so they would like come with their raps, spit it to me, and I'd be like, man, you should say this, or you should change this word up, or you should go with this cadence, and then right here you should do this delivery. And from there, man, I just developed like a love for just battle rap and freestyling in general. And yeah, they ended up trusting me, man. Like work out around town that I was the dude to go to for like the raps. So like even in school, they would battle in the hallways or in the bathrooms or something crazy, and then like somebody would come to me in class like fourth period, hey, can you write down a rap real quick? Can you do something for me? And I would do it, get paid for it, and yeah, so I've been doing it forever. Honestly, forever, man, forever.
Dang. Yeah. And you said that you're from Philly.
Yeah,
And Philly to me is one of the richest rap music, like the rap music that comes out of Philly. There's such a rich history there.
yeah,
With the group, The Roots, obviously.
facts.
Um, Meek Mill, unfortunately. No, no, I'm joking. But speak to that. Like, what was it like growing up in Philly, and like, did you feel like that influence from the musical history of the rap scene? Like, how did that influence you?
Oh, for sure, for sure. So like when it came to like just music in general, man, my dad, I would say I don't think that Philly in general influenced like the music that I came to love, and honestly like even like my skill set. Being there, you're already like exposed to a whole bunch of like artists. Like you got neo soul, you got you got artists like Hall and Oates, you got the Motown artists and stuff that my grandparents grew up on. Hip hop. when I was a kid, man, you had Rockefeller running things, and most of them were Philly artists. You had State Property, Benny Siegel,
Hmm.
Freeway. You had man, you had Neo, who was from Philly. You had Jasmine Sullivan. So there was a lot of different sounds. Jazz was really big. But my dad, man, he played everything. I'm talking Hall and Oates, Britney Spears, NSYNC. He played Michael Jackson, Prince. He exposed us to all of this music, and for me, man, I just wanted to really just grab from every one of those sounds and create something. And so that's why when I release stuff, it could be like people will hear it and they'll be like, "What the crap is this?" Like this sounds
Yeah.
like what is this? And then some days it's straight boom bap, like the Roots, like um, a lot of the artists that I grew up on. So Philly definitely played a part, but I want to give most of the props to my dad, man. He made sure we didn't stay boxed in with a certain sound.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I imagine he didn't. You said he didn't just play rap. What was like some of the stuff going on in the household or playing in the household throughout that time?
He would play his guitar. So my dad, my pops, like played guitar, like bass. He had like this red electric guitar. His favorite artist was Prince. So like a lot of it was like Minneapolis funk,
Hmm.
jazz, 80s music. But then like Wu-Tang Clan, like Mob
Oh,
Deep,
really?
like that. Yeah, like I grew up on like super lyrical, in your face, Busta Rhymes, Tribe Called Quest, those type of rappers, man. So like, and he made sure to like, he didn't shield us. He was young when he had me and my brothers and my sisters. So my dad kind of grew up with us, so there wasn't much shielding us from music or like,
Yeah.
the vulgarity of certain music and stuff like that. But man, like he made sure that we embarked on like his musical journey with him. So I was there when he was recording stuff in the studio when he had a band himself, so he was recording demos and laying down tracks for artists and stuff like that. So it really was
Dang.
like inevitable, honestly.
Yeah, and dude, dads play such an important part, I feel like, in the musical just progression of your own self. Like I feel like in my life that's the case as well.
Yeah.
But you said you're from Philly, but currently you reside in the DFW area.
Dallas, yeah.
So how did you get from Philly to DFW?
Honestly, very simple. I've only been in Dallas like 3 years now, going on 3 years. I lived in North Carolina for a huge chunk of my life. So like high school on up was like North Carolina. But Dallas, man, my wife is she works at this really big firm. They liked what she was doing out in North Carolina. They wanted to bring her out here. It was super easy, simple. I was teaching at the time. And it was like a remote job, so I was teaching students online. So like it was an easy jump, man. And honestly, that was all God. That was all God, man, because I was at a place I was like trapped with a label. I was writing for them, and it was like a sweatshop. And I was just like praying to get out of that contract. And when we moved to Dallas, that happened, and I found like a tribe out here. I found brothers,
Yeah.
and really created something special with all of those guys, and met you, Saya, a bunch of Saya, everybody, man. Like, really got embraced because I was gonna give up Christian rap. I was gonna give up doing music. I was just
Mm.
gonna consult different artists and write, do that type of stuff, freelance stuff. But man, God really had different plans, and it worked out.
Yeah, and who was like the first person in the DFW area that took you and like gave you that community in the CHH spot?
Man, I got to retrace my steps. It had to have been Jay Woods.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
Jay Woods and Joe Rich were the first ones to really lock in with me. And then I went to the Gifted Summer of 2022 or 23, yeah, 2022. I went there, and I ended up meeting Dason. It might be 23, one of those. I met Dason, Jariah, and then from there, just like the whole squad, like everybody clicked up from there.
Yeah, so how has Jay Woods ever told you how he like found you? Like how does that happen? Like how do you and Jay Woods meet up?
So I was down with a group called Remnant Sonics. For a bit, we had just started the company. Like it had just been birthed, and Adam, Elijah, and Jay Woods had done a couple tracks together. I think Only the God I Pray. So they got booked to come out to Gifted Summer. They stayed with me out here. I went out there to help like set up. I met Christian, Jay Woods, all of them. We went to go set up, and we ended up just chopping it up, man. I think Adam and Austin knows they went off to do something else. It was just me and Jay Woods, man. We was like me and Jordan was chopping it up, getting to know each other, and before the event started, he asked me if I wanted to open up that night.
Hey,
So
bro, heck
yeah,
yeah.
I ended up opening up, and yeah, it was on from there.
Man, what a
Yeah,
special connection. And was that the one that where it was outside? That
yeah,
that specific gifted?
yep,
Yeah, because I always see like the crazy footage from that, and I'm
yeah,
like, man, I wish I would have known about this festival before then.
yeah. Everybody was
'Cause
out there, man.
yeah, because I only got into CHH like in 2021. But I
Oof,
mean, I'd
yeah,
heard of the genre like way before then, but every time I'm like, bro, I missed out on so much. But dude, yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
So to kind of like take a pivot here, because so everybody knows you do music, everybody knows you rap,
Right.
but a lot of people probably don't know that you're like me, you're a weeb, you're an absolute weeb, like a nerd.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. Facts, proud.
you consume a lot of anime, a
Yeah,
lot of manga. How did you get into anime and manga?
man. So earlier you asked me like, did Philly shape like my sound and like inspirations and stuff like that? It was anime, man. So like, I grew up in a really rough like neighborhood upbringing. Like, majority of our lives was in shelters, sleeping in the car, things like that. And so whenever like I would go to school, like even as a jit, man, we would go to like the public library. Um, and like to waste time until we could find like somewhere to park and go to bed. Like, it was that bad. And the public library, man, like I stumbled upon a bunch of manga, and ended up just like falling in love with like Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho and stuff like that. Man, I would read all of this stuff, consume these comic books and anime and all this other stuff, and just kind of escape from what I was currently going through. And it was just like a different world for me, man. And I drew, like I was like, I used to draw and stuff like that. So like I would get these like how to draw books and just like go in on that. So we were me and all my siblings in the back seat of this like little Ford Taurus car, like waiting for a Western
Yeah,
Union to come in or something like that. I was in the back seat just like drawing, man, just like or reading a comic book or whatever it was. And yeah, it went from there. Like that's really how I got into it.
yeah. And what from that time frame would you say was like your favorite manga, your favorite anime?
At the time, I'm gonna have to say it was probably Yu-Gi-Oh, bro.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah,
Like
and the Shonen Jump. I would get the
the
Shonen Jumps,
anime
man. Yeah,
or the actual
the
manga?
actual manga, bro. I would get the Shonen Jumps, and so like Yu-Gi-Oh was in there, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, all that stuff was in there. But Yu-Gi-Oh, man, was different because it was like this kid, you know, being raised by his grandfather. Like, he was somewhat of a nerd. No one respected him, but then he got that piece and like would
You got that
transform. He got
piece,
that
bro.
piece, man, and like transformed into like Yugimoto and like the Pharaoh, and it was fire, man. Man, yeah. So Yu-Gi-Oh
He
at the
put on the
time, man.
Gucci belt and turned into a demon.
That's what I'm
Then,
saying, bro. It was on site, man, and like he was a different beast, man. Like, I even now, man, I kind of consider like who I am as an artist as a like you meet me, like you wouldn't even think that I've been through the stuff that I talk about in my music, or like I was even the type of person that I describe in some of my songs, because I'm pretty shy, I'm pretty like laid back, and I'm chill. So it's really like Yugi, but when you get that beat on and I get a microphone, bro, like yeah,
heck yeah,
yeah, it activates, bro. So it's dope.
yeah, bro. He put on the chain and he was like, you know what?
That's
I'm
it.
really him.
I'm him,
I
bro.
really,
I'm him, bro. Yeah.
dude, man, Yu-Gi-Oh. Was there anything like any other shows at that time that you were really rocking
Yeah,
with?
Yu Yu Hakusho, and Yasha. I mean, even some of the American cartoons, man. We had like Static Shock and Batman Beyond. Um,
Bruh, Static Shock, that Shaquille O'Neal
bro,
episode, bruh.
bro. Like, yeah, so like some of that Pokemon. I used to collect cards and stuff like that. I say collect. Me and my brothers would go in like the stores and jack a couple packs. Yeah, and
Yeah.
get it how we got it, man. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh,
You see,
Pokemon.
you were doing it before the kids nowadays were doing it.
Oh, bro, I still got my collection from like fifth grade, man.
Oh, do you
Yeah,
really? So
yeah, I
you
still got my
kept it?
collection. Like some of the like figures you see, stuff like that, like they're childhood toys, bro. Like a lot of that stuff is
Wow, bro.
from my youth. Yeah.
So, like, do you have like a valuable card, or is there anything crazy in your
Oh,
collection?
bro. When we get off here, I'll pull
Yeah.
out. I got like three Mewtwo cards from when the first movie premiered. They were passing out the cards.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
collector's card, bro. That was such a good time for movies. Like whenever they showed the like, I don't remember if you remember that Yu-Gi-Oh movie
yeah,
where they were handing out like the Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
yeah,
Um, it's like where they introduced like a whole bunch of different
bro.
beasts.
Like I don't know if you could see that down there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
bro. Yeah, we bought that for real over here, bro.
Seto Kaiba.
Yes, sir.
Bro, he
Sir.
was the biggest op. Like as a child,
He had it
I
like
just
that
had to.
though, man. He had it like those are the characters I would relate to the most to, like Kaiba.
Hmm.
Like from the ground up, he had to do what he had to do, and he found out like it's for his brother, to take care of
Hmm.
his family and stuff like that. So like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anime
Yeah,
played a big part.
he beat the trust fund
Oh,
allegations for sure.
for
Like,
sure, bro.
because for a long time it's just like, man, this guy is he's just a hateful. I just hate this guy.
Yeah,
But
nah,
you're right.
from
Then
the
you find
ground
out the
up, man.
motivation.
Hmm.
Then you find out Pegasus. And it's like it's all from
Yeah,
there.
so bro, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, dude. That Yu-Gi-Oh is one of my favorite shows too. When I was growing up, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh. Like
yeah,
I collected the cards actually, and I would play the card games.
yeah,
But then it got to a point where I would run into somebody, like a friend at elementary, and they'd be like, "Yo, let's duel right now," and
yeah,
then we go
yeah.
to duel, and then they would
Right,
get absolutely just crushed by my deck.
obliterated.
Like my deck is stacked out, and then they're like, "I don't want to play anymore." And it was like only like two or three guys in the
Yeah,
school who were like that, and so I couldn't do it anymore.
yeah.
It was sad days.
I feel
I
that.
had to
I
learn the
feel
hard
that.
way. So you also like watching anime, also like reading manga.
Yep.
You do rap, but you mentioned something there, and I don't want it to be missed.
Okay.
You talked about the drawings that you do.
Yeah.
You also do graphic design.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so did that kind of spawn your interest in graphic design, which is drawing and those early days?
Yeah. Again, like I think a lot of my hustle came from like really middle school, high school. So like, people would carry like their binders, with the sleeves in the front, and so like everybody would ask me like draw a picture to put in the front of their sleeve, man. So like I would draw and again cop some lunch money, draw. But it was like, man, it was just something I love to do, man. My brothers are both really artistic as well, like beasts. I think really all of my siblings like they have some weird talent for like art, and like my stuff is really good, but then you look at theirs, it's like what the crap. And it gets better with each sibling. So like it's just something that we all related to and had collectively as a family, just the speak how we were feeling and stuff like that. So graphic design for me, like before it became what it is today with like the business side of things, was really just another form of escape, and honestly, another, when I got saved, a form of worship. And I was doing all types of graphics for my church. I was doing a lot of the backdrops, and then like the new series where like my pastor was going on to a new series or whatever. I would do the graphics for that, stuff like that. So
Man,
yeah,
yeah. What a beautiful blessing.
yeah,
And speaking of beautiful blessings, man, you're also a father. Like that's another crazy part. So in addition to all this stuff you're doing, you're also raising two children.
two children.
And so speak on that. Like how has people always say fatherhood changes you.
Yeah,
How has fatherhood changed you?
that's good. I would say it didn't bring too much change for me because I had younger siblings that I really was like taking care of. And the same, they return care to me. Like my brothers, we butt heads a lot, but man, like they've always been there. So like I have two younger brothers, and a baby sister, and I have some step brothers. Um, so like I've always had kind of that nurturing part of me and being able to like kind of do that. And then when I got saved, man, discipleship, I was starting to take people in and disciple them just as I was discipled. And really, I took that with me into parenthood. So when my son was born, man, it's a prayer answered, you know, and I don't know. Many people don't know. Like a lot of people see my son with me on stage, often Axel, but he's a surviving twin. He had a twin brother named Asher, and when my son Asher passed away, and Axel, you know, he had a 50% chance of survival. Man, I prayed to God, and I was just like, man, Lord, just equip me with the tools to be the very best father for this child. That way you can trust me with him. You let him survive, and I will be the best father possible to him. If you give me this chance, Father, like if you give him this life to live, I will be the best father. And I'll follow you, and I'll look to your direction on how to raise my son. And everything that I do this day forward is to raise him up into a young man of God. And I think the next day, man, we went back to the doctor, and Axel was 100% healthy. We lost
Wow.
Asher, but Axel was perfectly fine. And man, I yeah, this was probably one of the best things that me and my wife have been blessed with, is being able to have my sons. And now we got the new baby, and he's awesome
Yeah,
too.
talk
So
about that new baby. And you know, he's cute and all, but like, you know, new babies, new problems, right?
yeah, new babies, new problems. I wear white tees now because he spits up a lot of milk, so it blends in. I can't wear black anymore. Um, you know, a lot of my toys are chew toys, right? You would think my dogs chew everything up. No, it's the baby, bro.
It's
Um,
the baby.
yeah, yeah. I carry a towel because he's gonna drool all over the place, you know. But again, man, just another blessing, man, for real.
Yeah, and you spoke about Asher.
Hmm.
Um, the first time I ever heard that story was actually over one of your songs
Yeah,
on The Promise Stands. I believe it was the song Reminisce, if I remember so
it was
correctly.
covered.
Or it was covered.
Yep,
Was it covered?
yep.
Yeah, yeah, it was covered. It was covered. And just speak to me about that project, because that was my introduction project to who Kid Prince was.
Yeah.
How did that project come about, and what was the heart behind that one?
That project was like maybe 10 years in the making, honestly. If you listen to it, really, like in chronological order, like it goes from my life before Christ, my life prior to getting saved, to getting saved, and then making amends with the people that I've hurt, and then just ending it with giving God praise for saving me. So, that the promise stands has always been like a slogan of mine. Like used to be my tag on like social medias and stuff like that. With everything, because when I received the gospel, crazy story, man. I received the gospel. I'll never forget it, man. It's a huge dude named Walt, man, and he had a gang of dudes with him, and it turns out they were all part of this label called Cross Movement. And
Mm.
Cross Movement, to me, they're like the pioneers of what you see today with Christian hip hop. You know, the truth. Uh, I mean, Ambassador. You know,
Yeah.
all of these guys. They had Everyday Process, Mac and Israel, and so when I got saved, man, these guys really just like Just Will, T King, EJ, all of these guys. They surrounded me and equipped me with these tools, man. They show me what being a disciple was like, what it meant to read the Bible and apply it to my life, what it meant to live in worship, what it meant to repent, right? And when they prayed over me, they said the Lord has a promise for me, and the promise was already fulfilled. You know, the all through Scripture, Christ spoke about people joining Him in His kingdom, about being people being able to lay their burdens, give their burdens to Him, right? About a helper coming to be with us, right? That we would never be alone. These promises, there's promises all through Scripture from the Old Testament to the New, and they've always been fulfilled. And then there were promises that were spoken unto me that ended up coming to be, right? And so every time I say the promise stands, it's not just a album type of title for me, but it's also just a testimony. Like He has
Yeah.
always come through every single time, every single time. So that project speaks on that. There's things that you hear on some. I can't believe it's been a year already since I dropped that.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's insane, and it's still such a special project to me because there are songs that talk about some really heavy stuff. You know, losing friends, um, doing things that we weren't supposed to be doing, and the consequences of that. You know, to how I came to rap and give my gifts to God, being scared to get into music, given the climate of Christian hip hop today, right? Like that was my first project, really coming back to doing CHH and um, being a solo artist, and things had changed from the days when Dre Murray and Lecrae, when Reach
Yeah.
was like unashamed, and which they still are, but when they was doing the whole unashamed tours and stuff like that, things changed so much. It became more of a business rather than ministry driven. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that because you know you gotta
Yeah.
get your bag, and it's a profitable market right now. But it was like a foreign land to me, man, because the
Yeah.
promo pages are popping up, and you got new ways to build a fan base. It wasn't just doing shows anymore that built your fan base. It was social media driven, and um, that album, I was like, man, like there were days where we would argue, like me and the guys, like maybe I should just do 8 songs on this thing. And then they really pushed me. It was like, no, all 20. Let's do all 20. Break the curse of people having short attention spans and
Yes.
the stigma that are put on the listener. Like break that. This is for that person, whoever wants to listen to this, right? So we didn't create an album. We created like a playlist for life, right? Like a
Mm.
curated a soundtrack for like a life, and that's what we did. So that will always be a special project to me.
Yeah, and that's another thing I think that going to like the thing with CHH, this is another thing I think is like so underrated about you. It's like obviously when people listen, they're like, okay, his pen is good. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't think people realize just how good your pen
Yeah,
is. This is me. I'm a fan out for a second here. There's a lot of people who hear these rappers say like or as,
yeah,
and they're just like, oh my gosh, that guy can rap his butt off. And I'm just like, but he's just using similes over and over
yeah,
and
yeah,
over and
yeah, yeah,
over
yeah,
again.
yeah,
And that's like the gimmick.
yeah,
But when I hear your music, it's not just the similes, it's the metaphors,
mm-hmm.
it's the storytelling, it's the flows.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you get that? Did you always have that, or was that just something that you developed over time?
I think it's always been there, like telling stories and things like that, and just being able, like again, being able to freestyle and put words together. But it became more of like a science, and just like when I say I love rap, I love it to the point where like I study it, like I study different artists, and I also found ways like I messed around with so many different flow patterns and cadences and rhyme schemes and different poetry styles, like on like the best way to deliver different songs and stuff. So I think it was always there, but as time has gone on, I've just sharpened it more and more. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And I'm
just
about to ask a question that's like, it's like almost like picking your favorite child, but like, what was your favorite song making on the Promise Stands? Or like, what do you
ooh,
think was like the most technical song that you made on there?
most technical is probably Silence of the Lambs because it's so layered. Like you hear the surface level metaphors, but each one of those can mean 4 other things if you really pick it apart.
The quadruple
Yeah,
entendres?
like if you really pick it apart, I'm speaking on so many different topics. Um, my favorite song making would have to be "Burn the Bodies."
Oh man.
Yeah, "Burn the Bodies."
Is there any reason why? Is it just because of the beat switches? Because that song's insane.
It's
Just
I
crazy.
mean, I got to go crazy for like almost almost 5 minutes straight just rapping,
Yeah,
bro.
that's right.
And I got to change up like my delivery, and I got the show what I can do like 3 different times. And typically what you see now is like people give you a verse, a hook, outro of a song for a good minute 50 seconds, 2 minutes 30 seconds. And I was just like, yo, can anybody really just rap or do a whole song for a long period of time and you not get bored? I wanted to see like where's the cutoff time. So it really started as an experiment with Burn the Bodies. What's gonna be the cutoff time where people stop listening to the song? And then we did the video. I sent it to Mitch, Daryl, and he watched it, and he was like, I'm reading the comments to the video, and people are like, bro, I mean, this song's been on repeat. So I'm like, wait, this almost 6 minute song has been on repeat for you? Mind boggling, bro. It was crazy, man. So it did break the stigma that people can't sit through a song. You just got to make it entertaining, but also like do something great with it, right? And I think that just again got confirming to me like you got it. I'm gonna give you the words to say, and the ears are gonna hear it, right? And I just love that song, man. You got the whole gospel in there. You got technical rapping in there. You got crazy metaphors sprinkled throughout there. There's a lot of quotables in that. And then Austin No, I mean, come on, bro. He gave me probably
Cracked.
to this day, like he does beats for a lot of people. There's a lot of great artists that are still dropping music with the Austin No touch, but man, he went crazy on that whole record. Every last beat is Austin No, and yeah, I was really blessed to be able to work with him and Adam at that time. Yep.
Yeah, that third beat switch is like when it starts getting to that twang thing.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh, that beat is so crazy!"
Facts.
It's one of my favorite songs. I think that song's still on my playlist to this day,
Facts.
bumping in rotation.
Yeah, it's still like one of my top songs on my like Spotify for artists, bro. It's still like one of my top plays. So
Yeah, dude,
yeah,
no, that song is
appreciate
dope,
that.
and the video is great. I also love that's another thing. People go check out the video. The joint in the parking garage is
Yeah,
crazy.
insane. Again, making videos was something that people warned us against. Nobody watches music videos anymore. You need short form content and stuff like that. And I think for me, man, it's just I've learned I just make what I like, man. Like you hear this all the time. It's become so cliche. Oh, I don't do this to get famous. And for me, that's really true because man, the Lord has set me up at a place where I could I'll be okay if I did free mixtapes for the rest of my life. I'll be okay. Like it's really because I love this. I love this so much, which is why I still do it. And I love him so much, which is why I do this, right? And so
Mm.
like it fuels me. I can't imagine not recording music. Um, and it's not because of streams. If it was because of streams, I would have given up a long time ago. Let's be real. I would have given up a
Yeah.
long time ago, man, because every 2 months I hear somebody say you up next. I've been up next for almost a decade, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
if it was based on that, I would have given up a long time ago. But because of the constant presence of Jesus in my life, man, I can't quit, man. It's like that's why I do this music, and I'm gonna go against the grain. Sometimes I'm gonna do a music video. Sometimes I'm gonna drop a 5 minute song. Sometimes I'm not even gonna do any content at all for it, and I'm just gonna put it out.
Yeah.
That's bad practice when it comes to business, but it's worked for me. It's been okay. So
Yeah. And you said there, whenever you said like the 5 minute song and whether or not people would listen to it, you said God told you you got it. Have you
hmm
ever dealt with like imposter syndrome with your music? Like, where if you like, is it actually that good or are people just saying that?
um, probably when I first started writing, I dealt with that like it's because I was coming from the streets to the church. It's like, are y'all just saying that so I don't leave the church and I, don't go back to sinning or something like that? I had to, I would question, a bunch of people being nice and hyping me up, and if I was on the corner on 25th Street spitting a freestyle, that's normal to everybody. They're gonna say that's tight, whatever. But they're not gonna hype me up like that. But when I got saved, man, people was like, "Yo, this is insane. How did you come up with that?" And I'm like, "You just saying that, like."
Yeah.
Now I'm confident. I'm confident in it, and I wouldn't put it out if I didn't believe in it.
Yeah. That's an
Yeah.
underrated part I think about like for the artist is like fighting that temptation of like getting into that imposter syndrome
hmm
mindset.
Because we all
Dude,
got different backgrounds. We all have
yeah.
different ways that we were raised up. Hip hop is not universally it's not exclusively for people in struggle. It's not exclusively for people of color. It's like it's a language that honestly it's been the biggest genre of music for the longest now. It's touched the widest span of people in the world. And so like I don't think anybody should it's easier said than done. But don't view yourself as an imposter when it comes to doing music, whatever that form of music is, man. Because at the end of the day, especially us as believers, I'm talking to the Christian artists, right? Um, there's a lot of imposter syndrome when you're in the world because part of you feels like you don't belong there anyway, right? And there's a reason for that. But when it to Christian artists, don't feel like you don't belong in the space or that you don't have a story to tell because it doesn't come equipped with ramen noodles on a Saturday night. And right, like some of us
Yeah.
went through other things, man. We went through loss, we went through trauma, we went through there's a variety of things. But the one thing that we all have gone through and all currently have is salvation and
Hmm.
having a king die for us. So
Yes.
we all relate on that front. And if hip hop is the medium that you use to speak your testimony, then use it. That's that's what we all have, right? So yeah.
Such a good word there, bro. I hope people listen to that because that is, I needed that. And I know there's some people out there that definitely need that for sure.
So praise
Um,
God.
I kind of want to open this up to another topic. I just to pivot here a little
Yeah.
because you were talking about the state of CHH.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that actually.
Okay.
How do you feel about CHH right now? Where do you think do you think it's in a good place? Do you think it's going in the right direction or how do you feel about it right now?
Um. All right. So I don't think that. I think the only thing with Christian hip hop, it's always going to be in the good space. As long as the Lord is involved in it, it's always going to be
Mm.
in a good spot. Okay. As long as His hand is on it, as long as there's artists out there who are doing it for the right reason, it's fine. It's going to be okay because you can't destroy something that the Lord has put together. Now, is there bad practices? Like every other musical genre, yes, there's some bad practice. Are there egos? Yeah, of course. When you get the limelight, you got to wrestle with your flesh and pride and things like that. And we see that play out sometimes. The unfortunate thing is we got to see it play out on social media in front of
Hey,
thousands
that's
of
the truth
fans,
right there.
right? And so we've fallen so far from this fruit called grace. And but then with that, we've fallen so far away from holding the Bible as all truth. There's so much debate of right of who gets to uphold his word, who gets to uphold law, and who gets to speak it, and how it should be presented, and what you should say, and how you should come to someone. And there's it's a double sided blade with with it sometimes, And I will say this, man, we're missing unity, but there
Mm.
is a lot of unity there. There's a lot of dope teams. There's a lot of people who champion each other. Um, we have to overcome this. We have to overcome offense. We can't take everything as a personal attack, right? Um, there's always going to be a different theology. There's always going to be a different denomination. There's always going to be a different upbringing. There's always going to be a different background. There's always going to be a different set of opinions. And there's always going to be a different way that a person interprets something. The worst thing you could possibly do is jump on a keyboard or in front of a camera
Hmm.
and bash, dismiss, or misinterpret what a person is saying for the sake of garnering someone to be on your side. That's where we start to fall short. Be on my side. You should agree with me. And if you're my fans, you don't listen to that person over there. And if you follow or you like this person's post, you shouldn't be over here liking my stuff. I see so much of that discord, and that's really the disappointing part, right? We call people who judge righteously would say that they are being harsh and judging and just hating for the sake of hating, and then some of us can be harsh in our delivery and do too much with how we approach certain conflicts and certain things we disagree with. We need each of us needs work in some capacity. But if you apply grace there, you give everyone the room to either understand or try to understand each other. You give each other the room to reflect on how they came across. You give people the room to take in what a person said to them, and maybe we can come to some common ground, right? We
Mm-hmm.
come to some common ground, but without that grace part, man, it's like we fall short and we become a joke to the outsiders because they see us fighting
Yeah,
eternally, man. And like, yeah, biggest way to bring down the empire is from the inside, and so
that's right.
we're way stronger. And the enemy, he sits back and laughs when he sees us beefing with each other and us not supporting each other and us not trying to understand the other person's point of view. Or if we just run straight to publishing a post without all of the
Right,
information first, right? He laughs at that. He's entertained by that, man. But we're so much stronger, united and together, man. Because the day is coming where people are going to ask you, "Are you a Christian?" And based on that answer determines if you live or not, or if you're jailed, or if you're right. Scripture tells us that the world will the world will not like you because of who you follow, right? Because of
that's
who
right.
you've given your life to. And so while we're busy bickering with each other and fighting each other, the real enemy is preparing behind the scenes on turning the whole world against us. So no amount of acceptance from the world is going to save you from that. It's just not if you're
Yeah,
truly in Christ. So
most certainly.
yeah, so
People, the world loves people who pursue the truth, but they hate it when you claim it.
hmm yeah,
And I think that word you just spoke, man, people need to tap in with that. We need more unity.
yeah.
That is the
We need
key.
more unity, we need more truth. And we need more people willing to hear it, right? Um, does the Bible call us to be kind and loving and gentle and patient? Absolutely. But does it also tell us to carry a sword? Yes. He equipped us with a sword, and swords are sharp. And sometimes when a person gives you or calls something out, it's not for you to take personal as an attack, but to pierce that fleshly part. So you were like, man, I was tripping, right? No, yeah, you're
Yeah,
absolutely right. The thing is, some people would say, well, why didn't you come to me in my DMs or call me first? Again, this day of technology, nobody has each other's numbers. Social media seems to be the only way to reach a person because, yeah, Christian hip hop right now is popping. So I imagine people's DMs are completely full. And maybe you do have a message buried deep down of that person trying to warn you of some of the things you're doing or saying or trying to help you see something. Then what other way are they going to get your attention? It's going to have to be a post. And that post might go viral. And it might come across harsh and in a language that you're not used to hearing it from. But you know what? If there was a Mack truck coming and I'm playing in the middle of the street, Josh, I don't want you to be like, hey, Jeff, move, move. I need you to jump and wave
yeah,
your hands and scream at me to get out of the way or throw a rock to get my attention, something, so I can move out of the way of that truck, right? So sometimes, yeah,
that's right.
it requires some tough love,
Wow.
right?
Well, this has been a wonderful conversation, and I just want to shine the light on what you got going on and what you got coming up in the future. So I want to first start off by talking about this festival that you're going to be performing at
Yeah.
in the next couple of months. What you got going on?
Man, honestly, dream come true. So when I got saved, man, one of the first conferences I went to was called Flavor Fest. And I have landed a spot on the main stage as a artist. I get to go out there and talk to
Heck
some of my
yeah.
favorite media people. I get to share the stage with some of my favorite artists, and even some up and comers that I've been watching from afar. So I'll be performing there. That's in November. Also, going to support my homies at Outlandish Fest. You know what I'm saying? We got the O right here.
Hey
Um,
yeah.
yeah, going to support them. That's honestly the day after the day that I perform in Tampa. So I'll go from Tampa back to Fort Worth to be at Outlandish. I'm not performing this year, but I'm going to be in the building supporting my homies and all the people on the stage. So yeah,
Heck yeah. And what do you got going on music wise?
music wise, so we got honestly we got a lot of releases coming up, and I got a song dropping on the 12th, so 10 days from now, called What Can They Say. Me and Austin Nola dropping that. So that's real special. It's like a reunion between the two of us. Like the first time we worked together in a while. Since Promise Stands. So we got a song dropping there. Then the following week I got a song called "We Gonna Get It" that's dropping. And then I'm waiting for let's do this public. No Excuse. He got a verse that he's sending in. And then that'll be
Oh,
dropping pretty soon.
dang.
Yeah, I got a song with Mika, which is gonna be fire. That we've already got that finished
Speak
and ready
on
to
it.
go. And then me and Dason got some heat, so
Heck
it's gonna
yeah.
be fire, man. Yeah, it's gonna be releases three times a month. So
Dropping bombs on the
yeah, yeah.
listeners.
Shout
Can't let them sleep.
out to La Familia, man. The label that really took a chance on me and been helping me with the distribution of everything, man. They've been family, honestly, man. It's been dope. DJ True One, Shepherd, George Rose, all y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you, brother, for your time. I appreciate it.
Josh, thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Long time coming. I feel like we have
Heck
this
yeah.
conversation like by
Yeah,
ourselves, so
we
it's good
do.
to have it on camera, man. So yeah, appreciate you, man, for sure.
For sure. Most certainly. Okay, we'll see you guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay.